I'm James Heaney, and this is Brief News Brief. First up on the menu, a good old-fashioned dish if I told you so. Donald Trump came out today and told me some inside information under the agreement that I wouldn't tell anyone until Monday when he announces it. But you'll see why I think it's important I break this news myself. He is tapping General James M. Mad Dog Mattis for Secretary of Defense. Now you might be thinking to yourself, that sounds mighty familiar, partner. And I'll tell you why. Because on November 23rd, I talked about James M. Mattis in the New York Times interview with Trump. And you're probably sitting there thinking to yourself in your own little hootenanny in your mind. You're thinking, well, James, you never said he was going to be Secretary of Defense. I might not have said it out loud, but I guarantee you I was thinking it. And you're just going to take me at my word on that, partner. Okay? So I told you so. Plus, on Monday morning, when Trump comes out and tells you he's making James Mad Dog Mattis his Secretary of Defense, that's when you're going to say, that's right. He told me so. If you need a couple things to remember, James M. Mad Dog Mattis, I'll give you this. In 2005, he was quoted as saying, shooting people's fun. I like brawling. A full-size replica of the ill-fated Titanic, which in 1912 took 1,500 souls to an icy death, will become an amusement park attraction landlocked in Sichuan, China. Investors are sinking $2 million into the project to attract a tide of tourists. Fascinated with abandon since the 1997 movie, The Disaster, the doomed doppelganger will match the majesty of the original, including with ballroom, a theater, a swimming pool, and first-class cabins. It'll be a bright white star at the park. Tourists are expected to swamp to see it. It's not yet decided whether or not the restaurant will be serving in their salads iceberg lettuce. It's poll time. First poll we got is, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Turns out she's with Edward Snowden, which I believe is a plane terminal with Tom Hanks in Russia? I don't know. And secondly, do you use reusable bags? 80% of you said yes. 20% of you said I throw away unused plastic bags. You're a monster. You're making the 80% of us that try to make the world a better place have meaningless existence. And finally, would you skate on an ice skating rink with frozen fish beneath it? And 50% of you said yes. 17% of you said you only skate on dead pools. So we're going to take 10% of that and add it into the yes category, but we're going to negate 7% of it because you guys are posers. At least 7% of you have probably never even skated on an ice skating rink or a lake with fish beneath you dead. You're just posers. So we're not taking those numbers. So now for the new questions of the week. Question number 1. Is my James M. Mattis impression spot on? Like, tell the real damn truth. Can you tell the difference right now, knowing you saw me come down and get back up in costume? Can you tell the difference between me and James Heaney? I'm doing a James Heaney impression right now, and I'm James M. Mattis. Secondly, can texts on a phone be artistic? Is there artistic integrity in texts? And finally, boxers, briefs, or thongs? What you wearing? What you got on? Boxers, briefs, or thongs?